Now, supermodel turned super mogul Tyra Banks has broken down barriers to become a highly influential figure around the world. As an African-American woman, she's achieved a lot of firsts in the fashion world. She has also managed to conquer the television industry, turning her next top model franchise into a global success. In the first of a two-part interview, Yvonne talks career with Ms. Banks and how she got to where she is today.
At age 18, she was the first model to book 25 runway shows in Paris. She later became the first fashion model to ever appear on the cover of GQ and the first African-American woman to grace the covers of Sports Illustrated and Victoria's Secret. Today, Tyra Banks is much more than that. Actress, author, singer, businesswoman, and perhaps what she may not get enough credit for, a role model to women around the world.
What is your advice for upcoming entrepreneurs?
I take role model pretty seriously, but I wouldn't say, honestly, that I'm such a good person and I just make these good choices because I'm a role model. It's more like I just don't do anything. I don't really drink. I've never had cigarettes or anything like that, or drugs. And it's not because I'm trying to be a good role model. It just doesn't interest me. So sometimes it's very difficult for me to talk to young girls about why they shouldn't do something. And then they're like, well, Tyra, why haven't you? And I'm like, because I didn't feel like it. Okay. So it's kind of hard to, to teach it. So I guess just living it, hopefully, I'm modeling the role.
What's one piece of advice you have for people wanting to make it in, say, the modelling industry or the fashion industry or any industry, but not necessarily having the means to begin with?
Well, in the fashion industry, you don't necessarily need means, especially if you're a model. I would say the means that you do need, though, is maybe a bus ticket. So you do need that to be able to get to an agency so they can see you. Yes. But after that, you don't necessarily need money. And I think it's very important for young girls to understand that. There's a lot of scams that say, pay us $2,000 and we'll make you a model. And that's not how it works. If a modeling agency believes in you, they'll actually invest in you. They will fly you out, put you in a model's apartment. They will feed you. They will do everything for you and invest into you, hoping that you will reap the rewards by making money. And then, of course, you pay them back. But that's usually how it works.
But what's more important, though? Beauty, the right contacts, or the right personality to survive in the industry?
Shallowly, it is the fashion industry about physicality when it comes to a model, so that will get you through the door. Then after that, it's important to be smart and to have a strategy and to not just sit there and hoping the agency is going to pay attention to you. So it's really about being what I call a little bit noisy, asking the modeling agency, well, my friend Sarah went on that audition, why didn't I go on that one? Or, just being very savvy and being very aware. Yes. And then what's the last one? Contacts? Yes. It's not so much about contacts, but the internet has really made it more of a level playing field. So if you can get a picture taking of you, it can be something on Instagram or anything, an easy camera phone picture, and send that to an agency via email, that is your entry. There's no longer a barrier to entry.
Beauty and personality Tyra definitely isn't lacking in, but she admits she didn't always know she wanted to be a model.
When I started modeling, it wasn't like I said, look at me, I'm 5'9" and I have the look. By no means. I was a very insecure girl, and on the very first day of high school, a girl came up to me and told me that I looked like a model. And that was the first time I had heard that. I looked very different than what I look like now. I was 60 pounds lighter, like very skinny. There was nothing that I could do to gain weight. I have a very large forehead, very big eyes, a very pointy chin. So imagine 60 pounds less. It was like an alien, and not like model alien, because there's an alien model look that's very cool. Yeah. Mine was like a real alien, like from a science fiction movie.
In your eyes, though?
In the world's eyes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My school thought there was something wrong with me. They were pushing my mother to take me to the doctor because they thought that I was either anorexic or had some type of sickness. But I would eat, and there was nothing that I could do to gain weight. And my forehead was growing bigger than the rest of my body and all this, and my bones were hurting. Yeah. And one doctor said I had gigantism. So, no, I definitely had a very awkward start. But the fact that someone saw something in me, a girl that was just 13 years old, said, you could be a model. And I was like, what? She changed my life, yeah.
Since her modelling days, Tyra's become a household name in the entertainment industry, producing and hosting her own talk show and venturing into reality TV, creating and hosting America's Next Top Model, now into its 19th cycle in the US. She's turned that into a global franchise with 22 international editions.
You created America's Next Top Model under license in over 100 markets around the world. How involved are you in the business and marketing aspect of it?
Hugely involved in the business and marketing of America's Next Top Model. I mean, we as a team, not just me, but we have the network. I have my partner, Ken Mock, and we have other producers, and we sit together and we figure out marketing campaigns. Especially now, as the show is getting older, it's important for us to think of new ideas and new things for the show. And then we have a strong team of people that can implement those plans. Now, when it comes to the international versions, there's an ownership kind of situation where we license the show, and we just make sure that we have quality control people that are checking our international versions, making sure that they adhere to certain standards.
Well,
but I don't do that.
Well, I don't think you'd have time to oversee everything. But speaking of the Asia's Next Top Model, how different or similar will it be to America's version?
You'll have to see how different and similar, and I think it's important for it to be both. I think you want to hit the certain things that make the American version successful, because that is the very first version, but at the same time you want to tweak things and make it original so that the viewer that loves the American version doesn't feel like, I don't need to watch Asia because that already happened in America. So I think Asia's Next Top Model is doing a good job of meshing both.
Coming up on part 2 of our interview with Tyra Banks.
I find Asian beauty to be some of the strongest beauty on the planet.
Tyra shares with us more about the Asian installment of America's Next Top Model. Our interview continues tomorrow on AIM Live.
That's right, she was here to promote Asia's Next Top Model, so it's a version of America's Next Top Model, which is hugely successful into its 19th cycle. So we are going to see how this one pans out in this region.
I think it'll be just as successful because, I mean, it's something all over the world. People wonder about the fashion industry and kind of want to peek as to how it works. And I got to say also, she is a very confident woman. You know, you can see that she's very astute. She's, you know, thought things through. And
yes, she had a lot to say. When any question that I asked her, she had a lot to say. And I actually asked her at what age did she stop growing. Most people would think not more than 20. She said 24.
Oh, really?
So she was growing and growing and growing. Wow. Can you imagine? Why she's so tall.
That's a bit unusual, but I guess
well, at least her forehead stopped growing.
Yeah. I like that one. There was that alien look. There's a certain cool alien look that's okay in the fashion world, but she didn't have it. You know, it's true, because sometimes you look at people on the runway and you're like, wow, they just look
out of this world.
Yeah, unique, their own, you know. But if you saw them in real life in a cafe or something, it'd be like, wow, she looks a bit strange.
Yes, yes. But I guess that's how they stand out. I mean, she said that was the sole reason why she was picked to, I don't know, do 25 runway shows in Paris, which was a record.
The big forehead.
It was because of her forehead.
There you go.
Because it stood out. It made a difference.
Okay, so aspiring models out there, you know, if you have a unique feature, well, don't hide it, flaunt it. It might just work for you.
Yes.